Well, it's the next day and these guys are in the boxes. Hopefully the sound should be better today because I've got my little lavalier mic on. As predicted, the red cock fought over and got the top box. And this is Squeak, and I'm going to put her in with the red cock. We'll see what happens. Oh, she likes him. That's a bit obvious, isn't it? So I'll just get another hen. Right, I've been struggling to decide which hen to put in. So I'm going to go with this little girl. She's a 2013 bird. I didn't breed her myself. I got her off a guy I know. Just give her the ivermectin. So I'm going to put her in. I'm really struggling to decide which hen to put in with the cocks. This second hen. We'll see how they pair up. See if they pair up. They usually do. Trouble is with this hen, she's paired herself up to another hen in the box. So she's going to be reluctant to pair with this cock for maybe a day or two, but they will pair up anyway. Right, I forgot to mention about food, didn't I? They're gonna need a high protein feed like this, which has got just about everything in it. A lot of peas for protein and beans. There's bits of wheat, there's bits of safflower. I can't actually identify. I'm no grain expert, but there's a good mixture of grains there. There's a lot of protein, vitamins and minerals. I think it's important to give the young birds a good start. So that's what these guys get now, all the time they're breeding. And I've found that it's best, that's why I keep the feed in these little pots. I also found it's best if you just give them 4 tablespoons a day for the pair and the chicks, because if you don't, they start getting selective over the grains. They flick all the peas out and they just eat the little high protein grains like the safflower and the other little bits and pieces, so you end up with a box full of peas. So if you kind of restrict the food a bit, they're not too wasteful of it. But that hen now, she's, oh there you go, that's good to see, isn't it? I think that's going to be a successful pairing as well. You see them two in there. They're feeding each other. Yeah, that's good. The red cock, he's in the top hole. He's sitting in his bowl wanting her to go in with him. He's not having as much luck, is he? There you go, they're treading. You see him? Yeah, a bit more practice, lad, I think. Yeah, yesterday that hawk, me and Rob have been seeing it for a few days now. It's a big bird and it's been kicking around for a couple of weeks. A couple of weeks ago, that's when I first started noticing it. And I've seen it going into the guys' racing pigeons at the back. I've seen it going into the stray pigeons. There's some on feed pigeons over there, and there's always a few strays kicking about on a roof. I've seen it going into them. So that's when I first spotted it on the camera. That's why I thought it was the sparrowhawk. But since then, after reviewing the footage, it looks to me like a peregrine. It's very confusing. Unless it's some kind of hybrid hawk, which really don't know what it is. But whatever it is, I wish the hell it would go away. But I managed to deter it. on its, well, it would have been its third attack. I managed to deter it anyway and put it off, and it skedaddled, it scarpered south. There's other things you can give your birds as well. There's all kind of protein and boosting supplements that you can put in the bird's feed, but I really don't bother. I've never really seen a need to use it. A couple of years ago I got some homophone, which is sort of a red this red stuff. I don't know what it is. The birds wouldn't really eat it, you know. They were very selective. They were picking it out. I think it's just packed with protein and minerals. But I personally think if they've got the right seed, the right feed, if they've got minerals, if they've got grit and clean water, they don't really need anything else. We're not breeding high performance racing pigeons here that, you know, are going to fly for hundreds and thousands of miles. We're breeding roller pigeons that, you know, we only want them flying for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. We don't want them up all day and pinning out into the sky. So I think the seed they get is more than adequate. So Roger asked me from probably from the UK actually. Roger asking me about the black mineral. Well, the black mineral I use is it just comes from a local company. That's the black mineral, and it really doesn't say anything on the bag other than black mineral. So I can't help you with that, mate. I honestly don't think it matters. This stuff just it just kind of tastes a bit salty. So I got a message from Johnny Man from South Africa. Hi mate, thanks for the comment. He's talking about exporting birds, a wood pigeon and a pear tree. He's talking about exporting birds to South Africa, or I presume any other country. And the problem I see is just every country will have its own export rules, and you know, there's just probably a myriad of paperwork to sign and go through and forms to fill in and yada-da-da, and I just haven't got the time, guys, to look at all the different amounts of paperwork and the amounts of regulations that the birds would need. They probably have to be vaccinated against God knows what to get to be imported into the country. So it's just really is a lot of hassle, you know, with all the other things I've got going on. Rico mentions he gets hit by the falcons. Yeah, they really do kill the sport falcons, the roller pigeon sport, because the roller pigeons are just such an easy target. They tend to stay above the loft or the box, just flying around in circles. They're not as agile as a racer. They haven't got the strength to fly for hours and hours and hours, you know. But they are a remarkable little bird, you know, and they have got some tricks up the sleeve, but they're a lot easier to hit than a wild bird, for instance. You know, a domestic bird always is. It's not as clued up, it's not as smart as a wild bird, which, you know, the wild birds are used to attacks by hawks, and they know every avoidance tactic there is. But it's just one of them things, mate. And Chris, with regards to winning the birds, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. It'll just be ask me subscribers or guys interested in the pigeons, you know, just leave a comment or something. We'll sort someone out. Not yet. Let's not count our chickens before they hatch, eh? Thanks for the comment, Chris. Glad you like my birds, mate. These lot look happy enough. So if you've got any comments, anything you want to know, any advice, if I can help, I will. Leave a comment below and I'll answer it in the next video. Alright fellas, see you soon.